Hi, welcome back. So we have got a switch in. I don't actually know what's wrong with this one. This one was just listed on eBay as not working, so I kind of took a gamble on it. But let's go ahead and do some rudimentary testing. I've got an amp reader here. We'll see what it's pulling. Nothing at all. Okay, that's fun. Nothing the other way as well. Okay. Fun. Classic no charging issue. So we're probably looking at either an M92 or a charge port. So let's get to it. I'll get this board taken out. Alright, so I've got that board taken out. We're back under the microscope. I can immediately tell this... Oh, yeah, that pin is already loose. This charge port has absolutely been replaced. Look at that. Wow. Every pin? Holy shit, no wonder it wasn't fucking charging. Jesus. It looks like they attempted to replace the M92, thank God. Real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and put the meter in continuity mode and do some continuity testing for shorts. Okay. Or well, actually. Okay, that looks good. Onto the charge port. I couldn't really capture it on camera, but honestly, this port looks totally fine. So I'm going to try to just reflow it as opposed to actually replace it. Okay, so there are multiple ways to reflow a switch charge port. I'm going to do kind of the easy way that I've learned to do it. I've had a lot of success with this. Sometimes it does burn the plastic a little bit, but it doesn't actually do damage most of the time. It's kind of the safest way to reflow a port if you're planning on reusing it. I don't like heating these from the bottom just because the inside is like 100% plastic. It melts so fast, it's absurd. But based on these joints here, it definitely looks like they used leaded solder. So I actually do think that this is probably going to be viable, especially because the pins are basically pre-tinned. So all you're going to do is add some flux at the back here. Try to get the light a little better on it. There we go. And you're going to want your hot air station at around 30% airflow between like 400 to 450 Celsius. And you're actually going to heat from the back. The only thing that sucks about this method is, again, sometimes it does kind of singe the back of the pins, like the plastic right here. Try to get that light a little better again. Is that if you're using a rubber mat like me, it causes it to bubble up. And that can be kind of annoying because it'll push your port off. And you can see the solder start to melt there. Just gonna make sure. Once it looks like it's ready to come off, that's whenever, instead of actually taking it off, since we're just reflowing it, we're just trying to push all the flux towards the second row of pins, and then we're just gonna push down and hold once this is all melted, which not quite. Okay. That looks pretty decent. We're going to go with that and we're going to check our work on it. So just like once again, you're going to wait for that to go back to that dull gray color. That's how you know that the solder is solidified. I think that should be good. And let's do a quick clean and then we'll check our work. Okay, and those pins are all solid. Obviously, we can't test the inner row of pins, so we're just kind of going to take a leap of faith here. Okay, and I've gone ahead and switched back to the overhead cam because I just want to show you guys the results here. So this is going to test that inner row of pins, which I'm not 1,000,000% confident about. Yeah, nothing at all. And did we get those back pins? We did. And are we pulling 15 volts? We are. Okay. So that side's good. Yeah, it's just those inner pins still. So we're gonna have to reflow that one more time. I might go ahead and just take that port off, even though it's a little bit risky, you know, the risk of actually destroying the port whenever you're removing it. Just because I want to make sure that those inner pads are tinned properly. I could tell that the outer ones were, but again, the inner ones are just a little bit harder than normal. So this time I'm going to actually remove the port. So I'm just going to put flux again. I'm doing the same technique just because I know it's the least damaging method I have. I'm just going to heat it from the back. I've increased the heat a little bit to hopefully get at those post holes. And once again, they are all leaded solder clearly, so I'm hoping that'll help get things off without any, you know, melting happening, or before any melting starts happening. I could try to just reflow it like this, but I just want to, I'd rather do it one more time than 3 or 4 times without checking the pads. And we're off. Now I'm just going to add, while the board's hot, I'm just going to go ahead and add some more flux there. And we're just going to retin those pads. Man, this tip is just no good. I've already gone ahead and ordered a new tip because this one is just really not cutting it. There's also just an excess of solder that was there already. Never mind me accidentally clipping it with my soldering iron. And just go ahead and give that a clean the best we can. And the other thing now in this case is that since I'm going to be laying the port back on using that same method, it's really hard to do that when the post holes are filled. So I am actually going to go ahead and use the solder sucker and get those pulled out. And just like before, we're just going to heat it up from the bottom and then zap it up. Alright, and like I said before, we're just doing that same method. We just had to remove those post holes so that way it would actually stay on without having to do like a full reseating. And we're just going to go for that. Looks about lined up to me. All right, let's go ahead and once again give it a quick clean, and then we will check our work. Flux has kind of gotten a little muddy, but that's okay. We'll give that a scrub once we get these all checked out. But we're just going to go ahead with the poke test again. Okay, those all look good. Gonna go ahead and get my soft toothbrush, add some more IPA, and give that a scrub real quick to get that stuff out from between the pins. I know I'm not going to be able to get all of this perfectly off the board, Maybe if I had a little bit of flux remover, but that's going to have to be the best I can do for now. But so this is the method that I was talking about in the last video where I said that you can kind of force it through with an iron. So I finally have an excuse to show you how to do that. You're just gonna grab your soldering iron, add a bunch of leaded solder, and you're just gonna hold it in there. And you just wanna hold it down until all the solder you have is kind of sunken into the hole. And we'll be able to check our work pretty easily on these ones because the board is so thin that a lot of the solder will actually kind of climb up the port. So it's really easy to tell that you've gone all the way through, as opposed to like a PS5 HDMI port, for example. The tips that came with this iron are just so trash. I've got a whole new kit coming, so hopefully I can finally throw off the gross mounds that this produces. It just doesn't spread heat very evenly, so I can't get that post hole super flat. And like I said, you can see that it kind of climbed up the leg there. Same here. That one not so much. That one you can see it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more to the bottom one. I think it's just that it's, again, like this tip isn't very good, so it's not heating all the way through. I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to a bigger tip, and hopefully I can circulate enough heat to fully melt those through. I did not need to add that much flux, that's my bad. Whoopsies. Yeah, there we go. You can see it's fully through the post holes now. So now we'll just go ahead and give that a good clean because that was looking pretty bad from all that extra flux I just added on accident at the end there. Has this been replaced or is that just some of the flux that I had leaking down here? Because I don't like how that looks. That looks like that's been replaced to me. I really hope it hasn't been, because that could be a bit annoying. Still a little burn on the edges, but looking better than it was. Let's switch back to the overhead cam and we will give this a test. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a test. So testing the inner row of pins, please work. There we go. 15 volts, please. 15 volts. Okay, awesome. Try the other side. 15 volts. Awesome. Okay, let's reassemble and let's make sure that this is fully working. All right, so I've got it assembled just enough for testing. So we're just kind of gonna hope and pray we get that charge symbol. Nothing at all. Okay. That's not fun. Let's turn that around. Okay. Anything on the screen? 0 amps. 15 volts. Wondering if we've got a bad battery, maybe? Or an M92, which isn't the end of the world. Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and swap in a battery real quick just for testing. Okay, so I got a test battery in here and still no. So I'm gonna take it back apart, put it back under the microscope. It's the fact that it's pulling 15 volts but 0 amps is making me kind of lean towards the BQ, but I'm gonna go ahead and just test all of the chips real quick and see how that's looking. All right, back under the microscope. So I'm gonna switch to continuity mode. I'm just gonna check for shorts around the major power related chips. Wait, was this shorted? That just beeped, right? Am I crazy? Did I hit something? What are you? Is that shorted? What? No, okay, I'm just silly. Alright, so I'm just gonna switch over. I have this diode mode tester. So all it is it plugs in and it's literally just a breakout board. So we're just gonna switch over to diode mode, which is the arrow pointing to the vertical line. You're gonna swap your positive to ground. And 470, that's normal. 0L, that is not normal, I don't believe. 470. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be at 700. But they're open line. Let me test this on another switchboard real quick. Okay, so I know that this isn't like an opportune angle here, but I did just confirm on another switch that, so these two should be in the 400s, these two should be in the 700s. This last one is, but it's jumping between 1.3 to 0L, 400. Okay, now it's 700. Now it's 700. 500, open line again, 700, open line again. Interesting. Did I swap that over from last time? Let me plug it in on the other side. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm fucking blind. The coil's gone. The BQ coil is just literally missing. What the fuck? Did I do that? I'm gonna have to check the video. What the fuck? How did I not see that there's no fucking coil here? Am I blind? Holy shit. Okay. Let me go ahead and tin those pads. Wow. Okay, beautiful. Let me grab a donor board to work that coil off of. Oh wow. Is that water damaged? That is just literally missing. Let me clean. Is that rust? What the fuck? That is absolutely rust. Yep, I'm not grabbing from there. Technically it's probably fine, but I really don't want to risk anything. That one looks a ton better. Let me just double check for continuity. By the way, this coil, I probably should have mentioned, it's supposed to have continuity. And it does. Okay. Let's switch over to hot air then. So I'm on 450 Celsius at 60% airflow. Alright, gonna pop a little flux. Swap our hot air back on. There we go. As always, while the board's hot, give it, oh wow, the opposite of a quick clean. let's switch back over to the overhead view and we'll give it a test. Okay, once again, we're back on the overhead cam. Let's give this a test. Oh shit, okay, immediately. Battery symbol. Let's give the other side a test. And symbol. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna let this charge up for a bit and then I will be right back, hopefully showing you it working flawlessly. Okay. Oh, that was really good timing. I was just about to start this video after I set an alarm for 20 minutes. So I've had this charging for a while and it is on. I did get alarm for a minute there because, oh, okay. Looks like airplane mode itself was actually just turned on. I was a little bit worried that we were gonna have to replace the Wi-Fi Bluetooth IC chip, which is a BGA chip, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm hoping this, yeah, okay. That all looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and get this put back together and do one final test, but we are looking pretty good on this one. Okay, so I have tested everything, ran a couple games, and it's all working fine. So I've got it resetting now, and that is a fix. We're all good. Like and subscribe, I guess.